人类遏制气候恶化的唯一途径。
The only way to restrain climate deterioration. Jiefeng. November 19, 2018. Translated by Treasure and edited by Kayer. Can the Kyoto Protocol or the Paris Agreement restrain climatic deterioration? It is an unrealistic and completely impossible joke to think so. And those projects to restrain global warming from some countries are even less possible. The core factor in climatic degradation is not carbon emissions and the pollution of land, air, and water, nor is it a matter of cattle and sheep digesting and producing methane gas, but rather, it is one of the human soul. Your state of consciousness determines your living environment, and the overall reality is a projection of humanity's consciousness. Without changes of human consciousness and the purification of people's souls, it will be absolutely impossible to reverse the deterioration of our climate and our environment. This is an issue that can be resolved very easily. So what data analyses, computer simulations, and dedicated researches are needed? Will it be necessary for the United Nations to organize international conferences and meetings to discuss and formulate programs repeatedly? Our environmental problem is one of people's souls, and the first thing necessary is to reverse and to purify them, but this cannot be accomplished by the UN or by any state or states, but only by everyone involving and purifying their own souls individually. This purification of human souls must be carried out from theoretical directions and with new orders of construction, both at the same time. As for theoretical guidance, I have offered a plan to prepare everyone, but they need to learn from me and abide by me. The order of construction is to replace the traditional production and life modes of society with a new one according to the model of the new oasis for life as created by Lifechanyuan. This is the only way to reverse the deterioration of our environment. Honestly though, it is too late to take action even if society were to begin immediately. I have shouted and appealed for at least the last decade, but instead of listening, most have wrecked the theories and practical demonstrations of Lifechanyuan. What can be done now is not to restrain climatic and environmental degradation, but to save a small group of people as seeds for human continuation, or extinction will be our destiny. The crisis is here and now. If people still remain completely indifferent, then disasters such as the fires near Paradise Town in California, USA will recur frequently. Remember, no place in the world is safe. Where there are no fires, rivers might flood. Where there are no droughts, violent storms might blow. Where there are no earthquakes, volcanoes might erupt. And where there are no plagues, intensely hot summers or bitterly cold winters might become normal. This does not even address the eventualities of massive theft, murders, and wars. In short, there is no way to escape from these disasters. Those who want to live must follow my guidance. I am the messenger of the greatest creator, the incarnation of God, Buddha, celestials, sages, and saints, and the greatest spiritual guide of our time. Please do not hoard what you possess, but dedicate your wealth so that we can build our new mode of production and life on Earth as soon as possible. Do not be short-sighted and accuse me of wanting to accumulate wealth by taking yours. I want nothing from you, but you need to use your wealth to save yourself. I hope that the UN will cooperate with us. There are many places on Earth which are disputed between nations and tribes but can be administered by them. So let us build new modes of production and life in these disputed places as soon as possible so that we can have kindling materials for the continuation of our species. It will not matter if people continue to turn deaf ears and use their small minds to deny my warnings and assumptions because they will learn the truth, but it will be too late by then. Have foresight and take action now. November 19, 2018.
共产主义在这里已全面实现。
Communism has been fully realized here. Jiefeng. The pursuit of an ideal society has been an everlasting ideological subject for sages and saints of mankind. The establishment of an ideal society has always been a direction and goal aspired by great politicians. Mankind has never stopped its exploration and pursuit of an ideal society, from the ideal of great harmony practiced by China's sage Confucius, to the ideal of republic advocated by ancient Greek philosopher Plato, to utopia proposed by Thomas More of England, to utopian socialism of Saint Simon and Fourier, to communism founded by Marx in Germany. There have been various attempts to establish an ideal society, from New Harmony Village created in Indiana of America by Robert Owen of England, to collective farms launched by Stalin of Russia, to People's Commune established by Mao Zedong in China, to Mountain Shore Village in Japan, and to kibbutz in Israel. Actually, Kingdom of God described by Jesus Christ in the Bible, the Elysium world mentioned by Buddha in Buddhist Sutra, the society of harmony portrayed by Lao Tzu and Tao Te Ching are all ideal societies. Now we can say that one common goal, namely the highest ideal of life mankind can achieve, has been described and pursued by great harmony, republic, utopia, ideal land, harmonious society, communism, the kingdom of God, and the Elysium world. The highest ideal society pursued by mankind must have the following 18 characteristics. 1. Public ownership is the prevailing way under Tao. 2. There is no private ownership. All properties are shared. 3. There is no marriage, no family, no political party, no religion, no state, no organization of any form. 4. There is no currency. 5. The talented are put to good use, and the whole world will be one family. 6. No one will pocket anything found on the road, and doors will not be bolted at night. 7. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. 8. Recommend and assign the talented to important tasks. Advocate good faith and harmony. 9. The old are taken care of, the strong are put to good use, and the widowed, orphaned, sick and handicapped are well provided. 10. All members have meals at public dining halls. 11. Normally the work hours will be limited within 6 hours per day. 12. Rich and plentiful material wealth without extravagance and waste. 13. Extremely harmonious social relations and high spiritual realm. 14. Rich and colorful cultural entertainment and games. 15. Everyone develops freely in an all-round manner. Everyone brings his or her talent into full play. All things are put to good use. 16. Everyone has a joyful, happy, free and blessed life. 17. Everyone is in the service of the others, and no one owes anyone anything. 18. The environment is clean, tidy, elegant and serene, like an earthly paradise. It can be said that the above 18 conditions have been basically realized in the life of the second home created by Lifechanyuan. In another word, communism has been fully implemented in the second home, or it may be said, the kingdom of the greatest creator has descended upon the earth. As the founder of communism Marx has said, without belief in God, the greatest creator, and without identity with Christ, mankind cannot possess truly perfect virtue to pursue truth and light. Only God, the greatest creator, can save us. The facts have proved this to be true. The complete realization of mankind's ideal society in the second home of Lifechanyuan is the very fruit of our reverence for the greatest creator and our observance of the way of the greatest creator. Of course, we have another secret, that is, we have imitated and copied the life and production model of the 1,000-year world of the heavenly kingdom. Today I hereby proclaim to the whole mankind, communism has been realized in the second home, and the kingdom of the greatest creator has descended upon the earth. August 24, 2011.
生命禅院已为人类进入新时代铺好了路。
Lifechanyuan has paved the path into the new era of humanity. Deform Buddha. June 26, 2019. Translated by Treasure and edited by Care. In the following decade or so, climate change will lead to unending occurrences of droughts, floods, hailstorms, hurricanes, insect calamities, earthquakes, extreme weather, pestilence, and other disastrous events that will turn hundreds of millions of people into refugees, and famines will abound. In order to compete for limited essential resources such as food and water, People will engage in savage struggles which will cause social unrest and instability. The government functions of the United Nations and all countries will fail. Governments will no longer be able to control any part of the situation. Fear and despair will spread everywhere, and people will not see any kind of bright recovery. It is estimated that within the next 30 years or so, the global population will be reduced to less than half. Minor changes occur gradually, but major ones happen instantaneously. After these great changes occur, even the most powerful empires will collapse and disappear forever. The United States, China, Russia, Germany, Japan, France, and many others will cease to exist. Most electricity will be off, communications will be unavailable, and the world will be in chaos. Authority will not exist, religious organizations will do their best, but will be so scattered and disconnected that they will be powerless. There will be no way to save mankind. The occurrences of all these things will not only be caused by the script arrangement of the grand adjustment of the universal life, but also by the state of consciousness of humans. To be sure, it is the consciousness of recent generations that has brought on these changes, and now this trend can no longer be reversed, and we have to face the reality of what will happen soon. In order to deal with these great changes and guide the rest people into the millennium, Xiefeng, who created Lifechanyuan, began to make theoretical preparations in 2002, and has been practicing them since 2009. Now the theoretical and practical preparations are ready and are laid out in Chanyuan corpus and Xiefeng corpus, and their essence has been condensed into the third edition of 800 Values for New Era Human Beings. The practice is the new oasis of life, the original second home, which was created by Lifechanyuan with the new production and life mode for humans. The main purpose for releasing this message is to attract the attention of modern, living sages, and ring alarm to them so that they will not feel panic or act blindly when it happens. At the same time, I hope that everyone will begin to follow the lead of Lifechanyuan, and to plan in advance so as not to mess up and regret their poor decision for the rest of their lives. 10 years later, there will be 256 branches of the new oasis of life throughout the world, which will serve as an arc in the new era. The new order of production and life for humanity will expand outward from these branches of the new oasis of life to the rest of the world. Humanity will begin to lead a brand new existence, regardless of race, ethnicity, nationality, or religion, and from both the rich and the poor. The whole world will be as one family. People will live in the millennium era that humans have dreamed of for generations, in which the worthy person will utilize their talents fully. No one will keep lost articles found on the roadside, and homes will not need to be locked at night, and everyone will lead happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives. Lifechanyuan has established an NPO called the International Big Family in British Columbia, Canada, and also another branch in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Those who are willing to enter the new oasis of life in advance can contact us to visit either. You are welcome to visit and explore here for more details and information about Lifechanyuan's values and the new production and life mode, with the precondition that you must be a sage, neither mortal nor laity, and certainly not an ignorant person. Whether or not the above is a deceitful lie depends on your judgment based on your spirituality, but to be sure, it is impossible to draw a conclusion by logical reasoning and intelligent analysis. It would be better if the developing changes of the world would be different than the above scenario. I would prefer that Lifechanyuan become notorious for this wrong prediction than that the great changes occur in the world, because no one wants such a tragic catastrophe to happen. As for the broad masses of people, listen to it or not as you like. You can just regard this message as a joke to laugh at and ridicule over dinner.
最美人生在这里。
The most beautiful life is here. Xiefeng. October 5, 2023. Edited by Qinyu. Where is the most beautiful life? Actions speak louder than words. Let the facts speak for themselves. Search for the voices of elderly people living in the second home on YouTube, and you will find the answer. The most beautiful life is in the second home. These elderly individuals have a lower level of education, have lived in rural areas for most of their lives, and are in their 70s or even 80s. However, After living in the second home for over 4 years, what realizations and experiences do they have? Their shared sentiment is, life in the second home is excellent. Even if they were provided with houses in their hometowns, along with caregivers, and a monthly living allowance of 10,000 yuan, they firmly state they will not return, with some even saying, "We'd rather die than go back." For these elderly individuals, living in the second home is like living in paradise. So, how does life in the second home affect middle-aged people, young people, teenagers, and children? Let the facts speak once again. Please search online, especially on YouTube and Facebook, for Chanyuan Celestial's Voices and The Second Home. You will find the answer, in summary, from young children to young adults in their 20s, to middle-aged people in their 40s and 50s, to the elderly in their 80s and 90s. Not a single person says that life in the second home is anything but wonderful. Everyone enjoys life in the second home. This generation of humanity has existed for nearly 5,000 years, and in human history, there is no better way of life than life in the second home. Even in the future, no superior way of life will emerge. Even if gods, Buddhas, immortals, and sages were to collaborate in creating a more advanced way of life on Earth, it would never surpass the second home. People pursue happiness, freedom, and security. Have you found happiness, freedom, and security? I can say with certainty that apart from the production and lifestyle model of the second home, even if you have great power, even if you have vast riches, even if you are highly educated and knowledgeable, even if you are the returning Jesus, Ziwei saint, Eastern sage, or the next life of Maitreya, you will find it extremely difficult to create a life that makes everyone feel happy, joyful, free, and blessed. You won't be able to achieve true happiness, freedom, and security unless you have the ability to take people to heaven. So, I suggest to all those who want to seek happiness for all of humanity, from high-ranking United Nations officials to all religious leaders, from presidents of various countries to various masters, stop struggling and causing chaos. You won't find it or be able to do it. You should humbly learn and spread Chanyuan values and earnestly practice the production and lifestyle model of the second home, unless you have personal ambitions and motives. As for the wealthy and the masses, instead of thinking about how to protect your wealth and develop yourselves, it would be more practical and appropriate to become Chanyuan Celestials and live in the second home. Rushing and toiling day in and day out, in the end, you will still live in troubles, pains, anxieties, and fears. You will never achieve a life of happiness, joy, freedom, and blessedness. When facing the facts, respect the facts and use them as a mirror.
人类大劫难后的生存方案。
The survival plan after humanity's great catastrophe. Jiefeng. In April 2009, I informed everyone that disasters caused by climate change would occur in a gradual, cyclical, and increasingly severe manner. The events of the past 14 years on Earth have confirmed the accuracy of my prediction. In August 2017, I warned, if humanity doesn't immediately change its traditional production and life mode, it is expected that the entire natural ecosystem will collapse within 15 to 20 years, endangering humanity. In October 2018, regretfully, I informed everyone that it was already too late to try and mitigate climate change. In this year, 2023, extreme weather events on Earth, including fires, floods, droughts, hurricanes, and more, have clearly signaled the beginning of the Great Catastrophe. Now, we must consider how to live if you manage to survive. If you continue with traditional thinking and production mode, you won't survive. Even if you escape natural disasters, you won't escape the societal chaos. There will be no nations left. Even the mighty US government will collapse, and wealth and power will be of no use. Even if you have a powerful business, it will be worthless. If you are thinking of forming an armed group to seize survival resources, I must tell you that it is a path to self-destruction. Imagine a scenario where communication facilities are down, computers and phones are useless, transportation is nearly paralyzed, roads are broken, bridges are collapsed, flights are suspended, water and electricity supply in cities is interrupted, and food is scarce. Out of the 8 billion people on Earth, less than a billion remain. Certain animals and insects have multiplied, and there are more pathogens. How would you survive? I have spent 20 years preparing the theoretical foundation for humanity's survival after the Great Catastrophe, and more than 15 years in practical demonstrations. I have carefully considered various difficulties and risks humanity will face after the catastrophe, and how human nature will evolve. Below is my plan. Establish 256 communities on Earth, each following the production and lifestyle model of the second home created by Lifechanyuan, theoretically based on the essence of Chanyuan corpus and Siefeng corpus, the 800 values for new era human being. These 256 communities can accommodate around 80,000 people. Others can emulate the second home mode for production and life. This way not only can the remaining people survive effectively, but also live a heavenly life. Therefore, I call upon those who have opened their spiritual awareness on Earth to take action. Those with land contribute land. Those with money contribute money. Those with strength contribute strength. Before the Great Catastrophe officially arrives, let's quickly establish 256 communities on Earth to leave a path to survival for ourselves. Those who are willing to contribute their time, money, or efforts, please contact us through the following means. Email: info@lifechanyuan.org. Messenger group: create 256 Second Homes Messenger group. Telegram group: create 256 Second Homes Telegram group. WhatsApp group: create 256 Second Homes WhatsApp group. Those who wish to discuss or debate with us, please refrain. We have no time and energy to waste on arguments. Please spread this message widely so that people on Earth can be aware and open a path to a better life and future for those with spiritual awareness. Guide of Lifechanyuan Siefeng. September 15, 2023.
不知第二家园怎知天堂之路
Without knowledge of the second home, how can one know the path to heaven? Siefeng.
7/2/2023
Translation edited by Yu. Many people aspire to a heavenly life, and there are many who practice and seek enlightenment to go there. But if you don't know the second home, how can you know the way to heaven? To reach heaven, there are several key criteria. 1. To have no worldly entanglements. 2. To repay the debts accumulated through past lives. 3. For life's quality to reach selflessness and unselfishness. 4. To know how to have fun. How can those who have not experienced life in the second home meet these 4 hard criteria? It's virtually impossible. Trying to end worldly ties while living in the secular world is like trying to clean your feet while standing in mud. How can your feet ever be completely clean? How can one ever be free from worldly ties? Seeking to repay accumulated debts from past lives while being in this mundane world is akin to borrowing money from one person to repay another. It's like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. How can it ever be fully repaid? In traditional society, aspiring to achieve unselfishness and selflessness is as challenging as trying to lift oneself off the ground by pulling one's own hair. Is it even possible? The notion of being unselfish and selfless contradicts the very essence of survival in that program. Do you know how to have fun? If not, why would you go to heaven? Do you think speeding in a car, riding roller coasters, yachting at high speeds, bungee jumping, or gambling in a casino is having fun? Wrong. If you haven't experienced games and entertainment activities in the second home, you basically don't know what real fun is. Therefore, anyone who hasn't been influenced by life in the second home will find it incredibly challenging to enter heaven, no matter how much they practice and seek enlightenment. Do you believe that understanding the Diamond Sutra, Heart Sutra, Quran, Bible, Tao Te Ching, or other classics can lead you to heaven? Dream on. Does comprehending principles alone lead to heaven? Dream on. Only through actual practice can you reach heaven. Can you achieve that? I often say, have nothing, possess everything, which is a portrayal of heavenly life. But can you truly have nothing? Without the second home, if you have nothing, wouldn't you become a beggar? Even beggars find it challenging to have nothing because they still need a begging bowl and a stick to protect themselves. Without the second home, if you have nothing, you might find yourself in dire straits. Where does having everything come from then? Some might say, I will go to temples and monasteries to practice, to have nothing and possess everything. The issue is, when you're born into the human world, did the Creator only intend for you to go to monasteries and temples to practice? Every creation has a clear purpose. When you make a kettle, is it not meant for boiling water rather than being kept in a storage room for mice to nest in? Did the Creator make humans for spiritual practice? I see many people discussing the principles and ethics of being human, talking about how to enhance their cognition, broaden perspectives, and elevate their realms. They preach benevolence, righteousness, rituals, wisdom, and credibility. Talk about being gentle, kind, humble, frugal, and courteous. They also talk about gong, magic, techniques, and how to be a good person, discussing transcending from the three-dimensional world to the fourth or even fifth-dimensional world. While these discussions are good and valuable, what I want to tell everyone is that these discussions alone cannot lead one to heaven. In conclusion, without understanding the production and lifestyle of the second home, without experiencing and practicing in the second home firsthand, no one can go to